What's going on, y'all? It's DJ Treasy Trees, and welcome to another episode of The Spark, my personal fan commentary podcast for the LA Sparks. And man, this has been a week, y'all. We have been watching the Sparks lose a lot, and I want to start the top of this episode with me saying, listen, I'm a fan, and I'm sensitive about my Sparks. So a lot of media people are giving the Sparks a hard time. Me and Michael Matthew just recorded after the loss of, I think it was, they lost by like 15 to 16 points last night to the Minnesota Lynx. And everybody's like, man, the Sparks got to figure it out, which I agree with. You know, I was in the press conference and Coach Miller seemed a little bit flustered and upset with the team. And then I talked to De'Erica and Ray in the press conference, and they seemed both very much so bothered with their lack of effort, the team's lack of effort, not their personal lack of effort. But I get it. We're in a losing streak. We're at the bottom. We're now 2-7. We are in the Commissioner Cup games, but we are 2-7, y'all. So we've had some significant losses. But let me just start the episode also saying the Sparks went into the game yesterday with a 2-6 record, and the Minnesota Lynx was 6-2. So imagine two teams with flip-flop records playing each other. That's exactly what it looked like in that episode. So that's where we at right now. I know everybody's saying rebuild and all this, you know. I still think this is a playoff team. I think this is a fairly new team to each other. They have a lot of new members to the WNBA, including Lee Yuru, who played for a little bit for the Chicago Sky, but really didn't play that much. She's only 25 years old, her first time playing here in the WNBA in a big role like that. We got Rickea Jackson, Cameron Brink, who were both ranked top 5 in rookie standings by ESPN. Both ranked top 5. So we've got a lot of potential. I know that everyone is tired of hearing about potential, but that's where we at. Y'all just got to wait around. You know, the Sparks need people like us to hold it down for when the times get rough. The times are going to get rough. The fair weather fans going to bring it in and bring it out. But I'm going to continue to talk positively about the Sparks. I'll give some critiques here and there based on, you know, the games and the performance. Most of that will be on the LA Sparks Weekly show, but I'll still give critiques here with just the frustrated fan experience, because I'm a fan of this team specifically. So watching us lose to the Lynx, you know, all by almost 20 points. I didn't think it would be 20, but maybe 10. The Lynx are playing great basketball. Nafisa Collier, they got Courtney on the team now. I mean, this is a great team, and I'm not saying that the Sparks aren't great, but statistically you could guess that, right? And we played the Phoenix Mercury and lost that one, but we had the energy in the preseason to do it, but I don't think we're that great at closing games right now too. So even if the preseason game, if the starters had stayed in, those outcomes might have been different. So, you know, we lost one in Chicago that we should have stole. Dallas Wings, we're going to lost by 1 point. You want to kind of steal the wins where you can, but now we're going into a challenging part of the season where I asked De'Erica and Ray, you know, is fatigue there, because they just came off their first long road trip, and they're like, we're not using that as an excuse, which I respected immediately. But also, too, you know, you go from playing the Lynx to playing the Dallas Wings to playing the Aces to playing the Storm to playing the Lynx. Every team in the WNBA is good right now. Every team in the WNBA is good right now. The Washington Mystics, you know, they're figuring it out. They got great players. They'll catch you slipping, is what I'm saying. They'll catch you slipping. There are only two teams that have worse records in the WNBA than the Sparks right now, and that's the Indiana Fever and the Washington Mystics. But every team right now is a threat. Then we're going to play the New York Liberty. We on this long stretch of road game in July. There is a break for the Olympics this summer. So it's like, what we going to do? And then Coach, he's saying that we don't have a lot of time to practice. There's not a lot of time to dedicate toward the practice to make these changes. So you're learning and you're building the plane while you're flying. You got a rigorous 40-game season, back to back to back to back to back. You playing 3 and 4 games a week. It's grueling. But as a fan, we can lock in and wait for these players. We're back finally 100% healthy. Laisha Clarendon was concussed the last time we played the Dallas Wings. We just got them back on the team yesterday. You know, Lexi was nursing her ankle. She went out limping in the third or fourth quarter of this last game, you know? So everybody's not back at 100. Ray had the flu. You know, we want to see Zaya play more. We hear y'all. I'm also intrigued as to, you know, why people have been playing the amount of time that they've been playing. Specifically Stephanie Talbot. I want to see what the hype is about. I'm ready to see that. She's been getting some elevated minutes here, so maybe she'll have a game where she'll just pop out and hit us with something that we've never seen. But we're going to be patient with the Sparks. Even if it's a losing season, we're going to be excited. They're playing competitive basketball. I don't have a loser's mentality. What I'm saying is if you're going to be a fan, you got to ride. Pick a side. But once you over there, don't try to come over here. Okay? All right. Well, I have had a great week with basketball. I'm back in Crypto.com Arena this week. Just was there last night. We'll be there again tomorrow on Friday and then for another game on Sunday. And I'll tap back in with y'all on the podcast then. But for now, I'm also going to start showing you the press conference footage. So if you want to see the press conference footage from Coach Miller and the players before and after the game, tap in. I'm going to link it in the video right after this. I'm going to just keep it and you just let it play in the background so you can hear what's up and what's down. Thank y'all so much for tapping in to the Spark. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and follow me on social media at DJ Tricey Trice. That's DJ TRICEY. I will see y'all on the next episode. My question for you today is, what are some things that you learned from the road trip and some adjustments that you're making here in this game today?
Taking a young team on the road for 3 consecutive games and, you know, continually prepare. Proud of the fight in an incredible atmosphere in Indiana to obtain our first road win was special for that group, and to come back after previously losing a close game at home to Indiana. So really appreciated their maturity of their preparation in that. And then obviously my hiatus, you know, for the MAC Hall of Fame was an incredible opportunity to watch the coaching staff rally together and around a really young and talented coach in Nola Henry, and watch the players buy into her. She's been with me now 4 years between Connecticut and LA, and she has an incredible basketball mind. So to have more experienced people like Steve Smith and Camille Smith around her, and watch the support of the players, even though they came up short and had a disappointing first half in Chicago, to watch them and how they supported each other and attacked it, and their understanding of the moment that I had with my family, and those 11 years were so special at Bowling Green and the MAC. And then Phoenix, obviously appreciated the 46-point second half, but again, the sense of urgency and the attention to detail in the scouting report that we didn't get done to give Phoenix confidence in that first half was disappointing. But this group keeps competing. This group keeps fighting back and putting themselves. I think we had a possession late to get it to 7 in the Phoenix game, and you know, we were down, you know, by 20 in that game. So this crew is not giving up. This crew is not satisfied with where they're at, but excited. You know, there's the lessons this year in this league, and it's not just for us, but the lessons this year in this league are in game, because we just don't have time to practice. Tonight starts our 9 games in 18-day stretch, with 6 of those on the road. So including LA, I think we're in 6 different cities in the next 9 games in 18 days. So this learning year is in game, and can we make adjustments out of timeouts? Can we be good and take a deep breath and communicate well at halftime, and see our growth there? Because you can't correct a lot of things when you have 9 games in 18 days in 6 different cities.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, what's the latest on Leisha and Lexi Brown?
Leisha is cleared tonight to go, so excited that way. Lexi Brown is also cleared to play tonight, so I don't know what 12 looks like because I haven't had 12 yet. I don't think one time in LA, but excited to have 11 players available tonight.
Coach, Jared Castillo from the Daily Mirror, and
Sorry.
no worries. You talk about like how the team is learning in the game and how everything is just kind of, there's not a lot of time. But what has surprised you about this unit the most?
Their belief and the culture that they want to create. We're trying to create the word that's been used lately is standards, and they are realizing when we're not playing up to what our standards are. I love the fact that they're coachable. I love the fact that even though it's a build that they will allow me, they don't always love it, but they will allow me to coach hard and demand of them. We have to have a sense of urgency tonight. And what a great test, because no one's, in my mind, playing better offensively than Minnesota. They're sharing it. They're moving it. What I think they do really special, and Cheryl and I get to work with USA Basketball, and we've really enjoyed our time together. I've learned a ton from her, is that screening angles matter. And we both are huge believers that offensive efficiency is, are you clean and crisp and in short areas? And what's impressive when you watch Minnesota is their tempo into an action and out of an action. They sprint to screens. They come aggressively at a great tempo off of screens, be it on the ball or off the ball. So, again, I'm diverting from your question, but that this team is learning how to learn from a game, move on, and start to prepare for the next game. And they're going to get better, and it's going to take time with this unit. We got 2 rookies in the starting lineup now. We've had some injuries, so we've floating people in and out. I'm not discouraged. We know who we are.
Hey, Coach. This is a Minnesota team that was vocally upset about power rankings and things of that nature that had them kind of in the bottom part of the league before the season started. What are you seeing from them as a top 3, top 4 team right now? And maybe your first couple of concerns.
I think the thing that Minnesota has put together is a team that plays really hard in the likeness of Cheryl. They are offensively tremendously efficient right now. And again, it's the tempo, it's the little details, their screening angles, their physicality at the offensive end. Everyone talks about physicality at the defensive end. They are as a physical screening team as there is in the league. In the league. So, they put together a really nice roster. Defensively, they're leading the league in steals. So they're finding ways to be disruptive. Especially their post game. Both Collier and Smith are disruptive post players. So there's a lot of. It's fun because I like watching them play because they have tons of congestion, they have tons of flow to the ball, and if you look at our pillars defensively, it's like you can watch Minnesota and see those same pillars. So they have 3 former Sun players that I coached and enjoyed coaching, playing well for them, so I'm happy for them. But it'd be a great test for us tonight.
Coach, we saw Dio Hamby be a multi-time All-Star in Las Vegas, but I feel like this is really the first time she's been a number 1 option on a team. And what do you think has made her so successful and efficient in that role? Just big picture so far.
Attitude. Her mentality's been great coming into the year. She wanted to shoulder the burden of being the go-to player. She wanted it. She's in great shape. She's in a good headspace coming off of last year. Obviously, last year was a lot, and the birth of her child, the trade late and unexpected to us, and she was a rock star for us last year, playing in all 40 games when we just had an injury-filled season, so she was kind of that rock for us. But it's her mentality, it's her attitude. She's showing up every day to be the go-to player and believes that she's the go-to player. You've heard her verbalize that she wants to be an all-star, and she's playing like an all-star. Records matter into voting at times for awards, but Dearica Hamby is playing as well as anyone in the league.
Last question. Coach Michael Matthew here on Family TV. For most outside viewers, they look at the point guard position as being a key reason to the turnovers and things like that. What are you going to be looking for tonight from your point guard play to kind of help when it comes to the turnover issue?
Yeah, fun to have Leisha back, right? You start the season out with your veteran point guard having a triple-double, and soon after that, McCowan has, had 2 people are concussed in back-to-back games, and it is what it is, right? And so, we've had to play Lexi some at the point guard position. She's truly a 2-guard. But Aries come a long way now, and baptism by fire to be caught up to speed with our system and fitting in. So really happy with the growth through this stretch without Leisha of Aries. But it would be really nice to have a veteran point guard back. We're going to need it because of their disruption on defense. They are tremendous at getting deflections, which leads to their transition efficiency and steals. But I'm excited to have those 2 point guards. I'm excited to be able to move Lexi back to more her natural position. She still has to be ready to play emergency point guard. Aries still, not 100% from her ankle sprain, but she's gutting it out for us. So I'm excited and to see if we can now, with more true point guards back, to bring back our turnovers down low. But there's got to be a sense of valuing the basketball and getting shots on goal, because for the most part, we are pleased with some of our shooting percentages. We need more shots on goal.
Thank you, Bert.
Thanks.
Hey, Ray. Just, you were able to be impactful today, and I think a key thing was the way that you were able to move without the ball. How important is that to your game?
Yeah, I just want to come in and bring energy, and we emphasize a lot on moving without the ball and cutting to the ball because they were being pretty cluttering in the paint. So I just was trying to do the things that we were looking for. But yeah, I just most of the time just trying to bring energy when I come into the game.
Questions for Dearica. You still had a pretty good shooting night offensively, given the circumstances, but there were a few passes that looked like they were just a little bit out of position for you, and you had to kind of lean over and reach over. It wasn't in prime position for you. What's the communication like with the guards and the wings on getting the ball where you want and where those spots are on the floor?
That just comes with time and, players learning how to play with each other. We knew that they were going to be overly physical and that their post players are really good defensively and making pushing catches out and getting their hands on a lot of balls, and they ball pressure. And we were just soft, and we were vulnerable to their ball pressure. Just got to be better.
DJ?
Hey, Dearica and Ray. This question is for both of you. Coming off of that long road trip, how much did fatigue affect tonight's performance?
We can't use fatigue as an excuse. Everybody has the same schedule. Rather you get it early or you get it late, there's still everybody's playing 40 games a season. So we can't complain about fatigue.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Dearica, Fredo here with the Sporting Tribune. Despite your career numbers you've been putting up early in the year, the team has now lost 7 out of the first 9 games. As leader of this team, how can you kind of keep your teammates motivated, focused, and determined to kind of take care of the weekend series here?
Yeah, that's what we just discussed in the locker room. We gotta find the heart and the passion that we were playing with the preseason games and the first 3 or 4 games of the season. And losing is deflating, but bigger picture, we know it's a long season. We know we're rebuilding in a sense. People gotta find their confidence again. We can't shoot 26%. 77 shots is incredible, but 26% is embarrassing.
For Dearica and Ray, how do you change the mindset, or how does the team change the mindset to, play tougher and, like you said, not be soft?
I've you got to light fire under people's butts and figure out the best way to get them to respond. And that's going to be different for everybody. Little things you can do to find your confidence, get in the gym, watch more film, get in a playbook, and keep playing and competing in practice.
Yeah, and just flat out be tougher.
Yeah, that's hard, and unfortunately you can't necessarily teach that, but you got to find a way to spark it.
Okay. No.
Hey, question for both of you guys. I know it's been a tough stretch, and obviously this is a tough game, but what are some positives that you guys can take out of this? I know it's always good to look on the bright side of things sometimes, so what's something that individually you guys will be taking out from this game?
We got another game in 2 days, and we get to keep playing basketball, and this is our job, and it's fun, and we got another game in 2 days.
I agree.
This is for either one of you. Can you discuss how critical it is for your point guards to be on in order for you all to have success?
I mean, I feel like it's an everybody thing. I mean, obviously, like the point guards have to kind of get us together, but I feel like it's just heart and effort from everybody all around.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.